Hello everyone, welcome to Padipist Media. Today we are going to discuss about lac operon in details. Prokaryotic organisms, in order to survive their energy utilization, evolved a system of operons that transcribe several structural genes under a single promoter and operator. This polycistronic mRNA is later translated into the respective proteins. Operons are highly regulated with regulatory proteins such as repressors and inducers. Lac-operon is the most accepted and widely studied example of an inducible operon system. Glucose is one of the most favored food source in prokaryotes. Glucose is highly available and is an easy source of energy. Lactose is another common food source, but lactose is only favored when glucose is unavailable. When glucose and lactose is available, bacteria avails glucose and not lactose. Only when the whole glucose is consumed, they prefer lactose. But why? What is the advantage of glucose over lactose? Let's see. Lactose is a disaccharide of glucose and galactose. The conversion of lactose to glucose requires the action of 7 genes. But when consuming glucose, this additional function of 7 genes need not happen. Hence, bacteria prefers glucose over lactose. In 1961, Francois Jacob and Jacques Monod studied about the control of enzyme expression levels in cells as a release of regulation of transcription of DNA sequences. They proposed a model of several structural genes under a single promoter and operator, which is highly regulated with repressor and inducer proteins. They named the system as operons. Operons can be classified as inducible operons and repressible operons. Operon systems that are repressed by a repressor protein and are turned on only when an inducer is present are called inducible operons. Whereas repressible operons are those in which the operon is always induced by an inducer protein and turned off only when a repressor is present. Now let's take a closer look at the structure of lac-operon. The DNA sequence starts with LAC-I gene that codes for the repressor protein, which is a dimer of dimer. This repressor protein binds with a palindromic sequence in the operator region. Promoter region is the binding site of RNA polymerase. There is a cap binding site in the upstream position of the promoter, which is the binding site of cap protein. Downstream to the promoter is the operator, which is a negative regulatory site where the repressor binds that overlaps with the promoter. The 3 structural genes includes LAC-Z, LAC-Y and LAC-A. LAC-Z codes for beta-galactosidase enzyme that split lactose to monosaccharides for glycolysis. In this figure, you are seeing the crystal structure of beta-galactosidase enzyme. LAC-Y codes for the membrane lactose transporter protein permease, which brings lactose into the cell. The exact function of trans-acetylase produced by LAC-A gene is not well known, but is widely believed that the protein is having detoxification function of lactose analogs. The mRNA generated will be polycistronic, which means separate start codons and stop codons will be present for each structural genes in the mRNA. Hence, 3 separate ribosomes are recruited to generate 3 different proteins from the single mRNA. Lac-operon will be active only under 2 conditions: the presence of lactose and the absence of glucose. There are 2 regulator proteins that identify the above conditions to turn on lac-operon. The first one being LAC repressor, which is a lactose sensor, and CAP proteins or catabolite activator protein, which is a glucose sensor. LAC repressor protein produced by LAC-I gene binds to the operator region when lactose is absent and prevents transcription. Binding of the repressor protein won't allow the RNA polymerase to move forward and carry out transcription. When lactose is present in the cells, a similar product, allolactose, is formed. The action of galactosidase on lactose changes beta 1,4 glycosidic bond to beta 1,6 glycosidic bond, forming allolactose. Allolactose binds with the repressor protein bound with the operator. The repressor protein undergoes a conformational change and is released from the operator. Hence, the RNA polymerase is allowed to move downstream and the transcription is initiated. Thus, the LAC repressor works by sensing the presence of lactose inside the cells. To study operons in laboratory conditions, a compound named IPTG is used instead of allolactose. IPTG is a known hydrolyzable analog of lactose. Hence, the enzymes can't cleave it unlike allolactose. RNA polymerase can't continue transcription for several times at a stretch. It will fall off after a few rounds of transcription. Catabolite activator protein or CAP protein, along with CAMP or cyclic AMP, is the positive regulator of LAC operon that also acts as a glucose sensor. CAP gene is present away from LAC operon and is constantly expressed. When glucose level is low in the cell, CAMP, which is also known as hunger signal, is produced. When glucose is transported into the cell, CAMP production is inhibited, and when no glucose is present in the cell, high concentration of CAMP is produced. CAP protein, when bound to CAMP, binds to the CAP site upstream of the promoter and enables RNA polymerase for efficient transcription. Hence, the CAP protein along with CAMP sense the presence of glucose in the cell. Expression of the operon is leaky and a minimal level expression is active even when repressor protein is bound to the operator. Hence, the starter permease will always be present in the cell for the intake of lactose. To summarize, LAC operon is on when lactose is present and glucose is absent. Presence of lactose is detected by the repressor protein and the absence of glucose is detected by CAP protein. Otherwise, the operon is turned off. Hope you all enjoyed my lecture. If you have any doubts or comments, please do inform me using the comment box below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. We'll meet by a different lecture. Till then, bye.